afternoon, my movie loving brothers and sisters. Thank you guys for joining us on this Wednesday evening or afternoon on the Screen Talk Live YouTube channel, where we talk about all things movies, movie news, and other screen-related junk. I am, of course, your humble host, Key Toothman. I am joined today by my friend and colleague, co-host. He's back, finally. He's making his return, Lucas Fairney. Lucas.
I told y'all I'd be back. And I am back. What up, man?
What's going on, buddy? It's good to see you. It's good to have you back. Mm-hmm. Guys, it's good to have you guys back here. Thank you for joining us again. It is hump day. It's the middle of the week, so this is usually our slowest day on the channel, so it seems like this is the day everyone wants to maybe get stuff done. But yet we're here reporting news. A couple things to get off the top quickly is we do have an Xbox Series S that we're giving away here on the channel. We have a video up for that. Definitely go check out that video if you haven't. But to give you a little rundown, if you send in a super chat during a live show, including today's live show, it enters you in a chance to win that Xbox Series S. So make sure you're sending in those super chats. Also, we do have our channel membership up now, where we currently have 9 channel members. Thank you, channel members, for your support and for your love. And we're looking for that 10th member. We know you're out there, so feel free to join and spread the love on those two things, guys. That's for sure. With that down, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you can have your movie news when you need it, where you need it. The way we like to do things around here is we like to go over a few main topics, and then when we're done with the show, we like to take any comments, questions, or super chats that you guys leave down in the comment section below. So make sure you guys are commenting away and asking all these questions, and we'll answer anything. But make sure you're sticking around to the end of the show to see those things get answered. With that down, we are going to jump into our first main topic today, and our first main topic today is this. So I was around Twitter yesterday looking for topics for the show, and I came across this little teaser trailer, this 30-second maybe teaser trailer for this new film called 65 starring Adam Driver. And I check out the teaser, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. And the teaser trailer ends with the full trailer tomorrow. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to check that out tomorrow. And so I had a chance, earlier just this morning when I first woke up to check out the trailer for this new Adam Driver. I just do want to say I'm not the biggest Adam Driver fan, but there's no question at all if I'm a dinosaur fan. I'm the biggest dinosaur fan. So anything with dinosaurs, I'm all over it. And that ends up what this ends up being, right? It's also got something else that I'm very much in love with, and that's space. So now you're combining two of my favorite things ever to exist: space and dinosaurs.
Well, and time travel.
And now we bring in time travel and technology, which is just great. This looks awesome, man. It really looks fun. I love how this feels. This feels like a modern, like an Alien kind of situation, but God, I really like it. Adam Driver looks great in it. The young girl, I forget her name, but she looks great in it. We often say that, or I often say that child actors, no, that's not it. I often say that child actors aren't very, they're just not very good, but this girl looked great. This trailer looked great. The CG looks great. I love it. I can't wait to see this. I hope this, it says in theaters only, so I'll have to go see it in theaters, which I will. I will definitely go check it out. But yeah, the gist of it is basically a group of people, or a guy that's on a ship. The ship hits an asteroid. It's carrying like 30 or 40 people. They have to land it on this planet, and it ends up being a planet where dinosaurs still are. That's pretty much it. And I mean, that's awesome.
Well, it's 65 million years.
Yeah. And
so somehow when he gets lost in space,
sure. They don't give us a lot.
Totally.
For sure.
But it does say 65 million.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, anyways, and it just looks like a lot of fun. Lucas, you just had a chance to check out this trailer just moments ago before we started the show. Tell me, what are your thoughts, man? What did you think about it?
I still hear that ringing alarm in my head. That's how you know. I mean, if a trailer's got that, you know it's going to be at least a good trailer, dude. I love
the last time we heard that?
Yes.
Why'd you spill your beans?
Oh, right. Oh, right.
Why'd you spill your beans? Right.
Right. And that's a perfect example of it, right? And just like this, I mean, it's almost it's similar just in that cabin fever theory, or you know what I mean? The cabin fever, whatever, because he's alone in space and then he's alone on this planet, right? Which all of a sudden he's not alone.
Right. And then there's this thing lurking, and the whole time in the trailer, as you're watching it, you're thinking, what's going on? There's something out there. You're trying to think, could it be?
Well, you're gonna see the footprint.
Sure, and you're thinking, could it be dinosaurs? Could it be not? Right, and then it ends up being dinosaurs, and I mean, again, it's just so cool.
Yeah, I mean, I love Adam Driver,
but it gives that like kind of alien feel, like I was saying, like there's this creature,
or like Jurassic World,
or Jurassic Park, the first one, right? Yeah, exactly.
That's definitely what I was getting.
Menacing.
Well, when they're in the cave and they're like looking, what's coming,
and it's raining and shit, and you see like
just the T-Rex outline.
Yeah,
so
you see
Jurassic
just like
Park,
the shot,
man.
right? Classic. What a classic shot,
right?
And it's beautiful. Look, that shot is what the moment that I seen that shot in the trailer, I'm like, yeah, this movie's gonna rock, man. I can't wait to see this thing.
So other than John Krasinski, this is
produced by Sam Raimi.
Right. Well, this is from the writers. So it's John Krasinski that wrote it with Scott Woods.
Guy.
And, right.
Yeah.
Well, it's two of them.
Oh, okay. Sure.
And so like that was another feeling that I was kind of getting from the trailer. Not quite so much as A Quiet Place, obviously, because that's so unique with its horror style. But the kind of like lonely, like abandoned you feel, or whatever, like you can't even move.
Isolation.
That's what I'm looking for, right? The cabin fever.
Right.
Yeah, I was really getting that from this, especially at the beginning when he's trapped in when he's going through.
Right.
Yeah,
even that stuff.
Awesome.
I mean, for me, we talked yesterday about Cillian Murphy and the movie Sunshine.
Yeah.
For me, or even the new the movie after Prometheus, Alien Covenant. I don't know if you've ever seen Alien Covenant.
I've seen Prometheus and Alien Covenant. Yeah.
At the very beginning of Alien Covenant, just like the ship, like a piece of it gets destroyed, and they're trying to fix it. Just that stuff to me is like, oh, this is awesome.
Yeah, man. I mean,
they're like spacewalking outside to fix shit. Like that's what they do in Sunshine, And I love that stuff. You gotta check that out.
Yeah, see, because I'm reading Dune right now, obviously, and this book and in the last one, there's several different groups of characters, but one of them, you've seen the movie, right?
Yeah,
it's Duncan. It's Jason Momoa's character.
Oh, yeah.
Him and like his group of people are like lost in space. I mean, like they're in this giant ship. It's like cloaked, whatever, but they're running and they're trying to hide, but they can't leave the ship, right? Because if they set down anywhere, they're gonna get whatever. Sure. And so I was kind of getting that. Obviously, it's fresh on my mind.
Yeah.
But
right. Yeah. No. This looks great, man. Guys, if you guys had a chance to check this trailer out, definitely go do if you haven't. 65 with Adam Driver looks great. I can't wait to see this and check it out in theaters. But if you guys have had a chance to check it out, definitely let me know your thoughts down in the comments section below. All right. With that down, we are going to move into our second main topic today. And our second main topic today is this. So we had the Kate Bishop and Jeremy Renner Hawkeye TV show a couple years ago.
That was just last year.
Christmas ago, is what I meant to say. Oh, and God, what a horrendous piece of shit of a show that thing was. And one of the things that we got coming out of that was Echo, right? Which, I could care less. It wasn't a bad character. I didn't hate it in the show. There was nothing that made me want an Echo show after that show either. So, that's neither here nor there. But we did get Echo introduced in that. And then right around, like, towards the end, we got word that we were going to get Echo series, right?
Well, it looked like it was moving full steam ahead.
For sure. Already, and then things like really started moving and then like casting happened. And and
it's going to be about Kingpin.
And then it seemed as that it was slated for maybe a right after or right before the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is when it would release.
After Secret Invasion.
For sure.
Series
but it looks like now we have this article here that I want to bring up from Screen Rant that says Marvel's Echo show to be significantly delayed, writers reveal. According to showrunner Marion Dyer, Marvel's Echo has been significantly delayed. Echo continues the story of Maya Lopez, portrayed by Alake Cox, after the character's debut in Marvel Studios' Hawkeye TV series. Even though Echo's not a fan favorite comic book character, connected Marvel household names such as Daredevil, Kingpin have MCU fans looking out for the show's premiere. And I mean, if I ever watched it, it's going to be because of those things too, right? That's for sure. But let's read a little bit on. So here's an interview exchange that we have between Marion Dyer and Ben Blacker, the interviewer. He asks him, the podcast comes out in a week or two. When does Echo premiere? And Marion Dyer responds with, that will probably be a year from when this comes out. Okay, so that means a year from basically a week and a half from now. So that means what we thought we were going to get Echo in the middle of the summer or the beginning of the summer, we now will be getting it at the end of 2023 or maybe even the beginning of 2024. So this is a huge delay, and this has to make you ask all kinds of questions, right? Because we're going to have the Daredevil series start shooting soon. And how does that work if they have this stuff that they need for him to do with the Echo series? How will that tie in? This is very interesting to say the least. Mm-hmm. But almost a year's delay is a long time. And this is just something we're hearing from the showrunner out of nowhere. We haven't heard nothing from Feige or from anything from Marvel, from any big outlets or nothing. This is just dropped onto us in a small interview where the showrunner's like, oh yeah, that won't be happening for like a year from now. So this is pretty crazy. Lucas, you're hearing this information. I know you're obviously too not the most excited on an Echo series and wasn't obviously the biggest fan of the Hawkeye series either. But what are your thoughts on this Echo series getting delayed for another whole year?
I'm not that surprised. I mean, like just recently within the last couple of weeks, I mean, since Black Panther 2's release, there have been a lot of reports or whatever talk about how Marvel with Phase 5 and Phase 6, they're taking a step back, especially with Bob Iger back, and they're looking to do quality over quantity instead of, just mass, producing them like they'd been doing. So this does not surprise me. I mean, the timing of it or how it was delivered just kind of out of nowhere and it won't be till December. That's a little weird, but it doesn't surprise me that this is the first one that we're hearing about after hearing that is being significantly delayed. Because clearly they're still doing it. They're still having an interview with the showrunner. I mean, they're pretty far into production as far as I would understand.
Yeah, they were deep into production. Yeah. That's why I said this is going to be very weird.
It's supposed to be early summer, right?
So then, again, how does this affect the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the timeline? I mean, it's going to be.
I will say
change a lot.
This doesn't make. Honestly, if anything, this not only doesn't make me nervous, this kind of makes me a little hopeful that they're not just rushing it, because I wasn't that excited for it. I was excited for it because it's Marvel. You get Daredevil, Kingpin, all that. And Echo's a cool character, a cool side character, with Daredevil and Kingpin and whatnot. But I would have watched the full show and will when it comes out. But I think what this shows is that they are taking a second. And honestly, maybe part of the reason why they're pushing it back is because now that they are getting the wheels rolling on the Daredevil series, it's probably going to connect. It's got to, right? Because Daredevil's going to be in it a good amount at least, and Kingpin is going to be...
But you would think it already would have connected in a way.
Maybe plans changed,
yeah,
right?
Clearly,
yeah. But, you know what? I wasn't, itching for it if I have to wait 6 months or whatever.
I'm going to say
December.
there's a chance that we may not get this series.
I would say there's somewhat of a chance, or at least not maybe in this form. Maybe it'll be a special presentation or something. I would imagine. I think we're going to get an Echo something regardless because, I mean, just think of the clamor that people are going to make.
It's part of the inclusion package. Yeah.
Sure, right.
So it's going to take a lot of backlash, but the fact of the matter is the only reason it was ever brought to the forefront was because of the whole inclusion thing.
Well, and there's nothing wrong with that as long as it's not forced and rushed into it.
But it was forced, though.
Right, but what I'm saying is by them delaying it for several months and, maybe taking a step back and being like, okay, let's make sure this entire show isn't just that one line in Moon Knight.
But you remember when Bo Burnham was talking about, girls with no arms? Who needs them? You know what I'm saying?
Right, but Daredevil is deaf too. Like,
at the end of the day, how many people are? Yeah, right. So you already have that representation in a way, right? So
well, yeah.
I think that as we get longer down the road and we have more stuff to explore, that maybe Feige and these other people go, maybe the Echo series wasn't the best idea.
Sure,
maybe let's have her have a decent role in Daredevil.
Right. Or even, make that do a special presentation of
or
sorts.
That,
yeah.
right. But still, that a whole series of it may not be.
Yeah.
No one's asking for that.
I mean, the only thing that I'm asking for following Hawkeye, right? And I think probably her best run story in the comics is the one where she does exactly what she just did to Kingpin at the end of Hawkeye, right?
Right.
And so that. I mean, as long as, and that's what I'm saying is, man, I don't care what you do, what characters you do, if they're deaf or mute or blind or black or what, anything.
Just make it good.
Just make it good.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying is I think that them pushing it back, with on the trails of talks of because it was internal something, that internal dislike or internal whatever that they were saying with the turnout of Phase 4.
Right, yeah.
And stuff like that. So, I mean, honestly, I think this is probably good news, right? Because we don't want a Hawkeye.
Yeah, but I think, again, I think that good news could lead to us not ever even really seeing this come to fruition. But, guys, you guys are seeing this. You guys are checking this out. A whole year delay on the Echo series for Marvel. What are your guys' thoughts? Definitely let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. All right, with that down, we're going to jump into our third main topic today. And our third main topic today is this. Lucas, I know you haven't had the chance to see Rings of Power Season 1.
Nope.
I did have a chance to check it out, at least give it a try. And I did do just that. I gave it a try. And it just was not for me, I guess. It's overly polished. It's very super. I don't like it. I got maybe 20 minutes into episode 1, and that was enough for me. But it's not going to keep me reporting on news about Rings of Power. And obviously, everyone besides me enjoyed it. It got rave reviews. Millions of people loved it. It was one of the biggest hashtags on Twitter when it had came out.
Yeah.
Lucas, if you remember, you came over to my house one day and I had Amazon boxes stacked up with with the wrapping paper of and that was really cool.
You were like, I'm keeping this box,
for sure. And but anyway, so I know I'm the odd man out not liking this, but yeah, I want to talk about this article we have over here from Screen Rant where give me 1 second, where this news is coming out. The Rings of Power Season 2 is going to have an all-female directing team, and the episode count has been announced as well. So let's read a little bit of this article. The Lord of the Rings of Power Season 2 announces its episode count as well as its new all-female directing team. The Rings of Power first premiered on Amazon September 1st, marking the first live-action adaptation of J.R.R. Tolkien's works since Peter Jackson's The Lord of the Rings and Hobbit trilogies. This series is loosely based on Tolkien's The Return of the King and pieces together the history of Middle-earth's Second Age. Even before Season 1 concluded the viewership and positive reviews, Amazon had already ordered Rings of Power Season 2 as part of its 5-season commitment to the show. Now, The Rings of Power has officially announced its Season 2 directing team, as well as its episode count, while J.A. Bayona and Wayne Chase Yip made up the primary directors of Season 1 and Season 2, will welcome an all-female directing team. Charlotte Brandstrom, who directed 2 episodes of Season 1, has been promoted to lead director. She will be joined by newcomers to the franchise, Sanaa Hamari and Louise Hooper. It was also revealed that Brandstrom will direct 4 episodes, while Hamri and Hooper will direct 2 each, confirming The Rings of Power Season 2 will consist of 8 episodes. So we have 2, things of information here that we can take from this. We have Season 2 of Rings of Power will be 8 episodes long. I believe Season 1 was 8 episodes long, so that's pretty consistent. And I expect if we get 5 seasons of this, we probably get all 5 of them at 8 episodes.
Unless they Game of Thrones it.
But, unless they screw it up as it goes. So that's cool. But this all-female directing thing is very interesting, right? This is something that's kind of been going on. It's weird. I remember, Lucas, for a long time, people would use against me quite often. They're like, yeah, well, every movie ever is pretty much all white people. And it's like, okay, well, if that's wrong, then how can we go the other way and that be right? If having all white people is wrong, then how is having all Chinese people right, or having all right? It doesn't make a lot of diversity for storytelling. So look, I'm not a sexist. I have nothing against women. I love women. I have a beautiful wife and an even more amazing daughter. But I think that it would be nice to have some more diversity in this, but it is cool to see the inclusion because, women haven't had these same opportunities to direct, especially on things like The Lord of the Rings. So I'm glad that people are getting the opportunities now, but I hope it doesn't always consistently stay like this. I mean, It would be weird to, if Season 3 was an all-male directing cast, then it'd be like, shame on you.
Maybe. But I think if it's inclusion for inclusion's sake, then they're gonna do shame on you. You guys went back to a male-dominated one. But what I'm hoping at least is that because this is awesome, man. I mean, it's great. Because it has always been done by men.
That's right.
Peter Jackson, and don't get me wrong, I love Lord of the Rings, and even the Hobbit
movies. And you love men.
And I do love men.
I love Peter Jackson.
Right, exactly. And I think it's an interesting idea. I think it would give a really good take if they do it right.
It is fitting of the story too, right?
Right, and that's what I'm saying. So I haven't seen it yet. I'm actually gonna watch it when I'm down in Tennessee with my dad because I know he hasn't either. But we were just talking about Christmas. I always but. From what I know about the story so far in Season 1 of what happened in Season 1, I think I could almost see them doing, it's like Season 2 is like a female-centric.
Yeah,
right. Sure. It's all about the female's part in it, which is great, right? I mean, because you don't get a ton of that, even in the original ones. It was directed by a man, written by a man in 30s and 40s, and you have great female characters in that. But I think to bring them really to the forefront and then it's just like She-Hulk in a lot of ways, giving them their chance to do that. I think that if you go the rest of the 5 seasons with only female, then I'm just like, okay, you guys are just, unless it's great, right? But if you're going all 5 seasons saying no men, you can't have any men directors.
Well, I just worry that you isolate, good storytellers and don't give them the chance,
right?
Just
and that's
because
what I'm
they
saying.
Are men now. I mean,
right,
that's crazy.
What I'm saying. So if it's just this season, or even maybe Season 3 as well, as long as it's serving the sake of the story. But I agree. I think you are missing out on viewpoints to a certain point, and that's. I mean, we've seen that with women not being able to tell their viewpoints, right? Which is why this is great news.
That's why this is happening, right? Yeah.
Just, I always say this, and I'm a Libra, so it makes sense. But with any like civil rights movement and everything, I'm all for it until it goes the other way. If you're just doing it to stomp down another group of people now, even if, you know what I mean? I know this is murky territory, but be better, right? Like, recognize the beauty in all of us. And that's what I love about art. And I think Lord of the Rings is that's at the core of it, right?
Yeah,
is the love. Sure. And
well, like I said, if anything, it's good to see women have the opportunity to get the chance to direct something like this property. But guys, you guys are seeing this, you're checking this out, you're hearing this news. If you haven't, you're hearing it now. What are you guys' thoughts on this? An all-female directing lead, an 8-episode second season, which is consistent with the first season, which was also 8 episodes. What do you guys think? Definitely let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. All right. With that down, we are going to move on to our 4th main topic today. And our 4th main topic today is this. So I wasn't the biggest fan of Aquaman 1. I thought it was okay. I thought that it had some decent visuals. Yeah, I seen it in theaters as well. I actually do own it on 4K home video, but it's okay. I'm not the biggest fan, and I could care. If another one comes out, I will not go see it in theaters. I can confidently say that.
Aquaman 2, you mean?
Yes.
Okay.
But we do know Aquaman 2 has finished filming. A while back ago, there was some rumors about needing some reshoots. And so now we have this report coming out here that we have from Collider, where you can see here Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom reportedly cannot do more reshoots. So let's read a little bit of this article. Just when it seemed like we couldn't get any more dramatic news from Warner Brothers and DC Studios after the turbulent few weeks since the appointment of James Gunn and Peter Safran, not to mention all the Ezra Miller shit that's went on for months before. As part of a feature examining the road ahead for DC under its new leadership, where does Henry Cavill stand? We will see. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm moved on into something else here. Let's see. The sequel, Aquaman Lost Kingdom, is due for release in just over a year on December 25th, 2023. However, sources have told Variety that prior to the arrival of Gunn and Safran in their new roles, the co-chief of Warner Bros., Pam Abdy, met with Aquaman director James Gunn to deliver some bad news. Due to spiraling costs of the sequel, which had ballooned to over $200 million, reshoots have had to be drastically scaled back before release, putting more pressure both on the director and the production at large. Further adaptations made the movie in its current state will cost millions of dollars that the studio is just not willing to spend. So what this means is that Aquaman needs reshoots, and at least everything's different now, right? Because this is before Safran and Gunn took over. So before Safran and Gunn took over, Pam Abdy comes in and tells James Wan, hey, figure out a way to do it without your reshoots, because it's not happening. We can't afford to do it. This is really interesting. This is something that you don't hear about too often. I bet this wipes over real clean, real quick. I'm sure we hear James Gunn come out and be like, oh, whatever James Wan needs to finish it, we support Aquaman and da-da-da. And I'm sure this ends up blowing over and being nothing. But as of right now, like I said, it's very interesting to think that the head of a studio has told James Wan, that's it. And it's crazy to think that they let this situation balloon so out of control that he needed more money, and now you have to be the one to put the lid on the shit to tell him that can't happen. Like, you let the shit start spilling over, so you let this happen, man, at the end of the day. So this is just another prime example of the turmoil and the bad shit going on at DC and Warner Brothers. The state of affairs that they're in. It's bad. It's really, really bad. And Gunn and Safran are not gonna come in and Superman this situation. They're not gonna just put this on their shoulders and be able to carry this off,
but not anytime
but not
soon.
today,
Yeah,
not
sure,
tomorrow,
yeah.
and maybe not even 3 years. So there's a lot to weed out here, like this kind of stuff, and so I think we wait a little bit more and see what Gunn and Safran have to say about it. I bet they get their reshoots, and I bet Aquaman 2 comes out on time. I hope it does for everybody else's sake. People love those movies, and they can't wait to see the second one. Lucas, I know you've seen the first one. I think you're a pretty big fan of it. What are your thoughts on all this news?
I wouldn't say I'm the biggest fan of it. It's definitely, I like it better than I think Shazam or whatever. It's, it's a good DC movie. Like, I enjoyed it. I love Jason Momoa, Willem Dafoe, everybody but, Amber Turd in there. The visuals are great. It made $1 billion. Right?
Over $1 billion. And I can't stand I tell you what, even before, I hate her now more than ever. But before the whole heartbreak feels good in a place like this, God, I couldn't stand her in that movie.
Yeah, she was not my favorite part of it.
She's so... God, I can't stand her.
Man. So that actually brings me to the main thing I was probably going to talk about is that we don't really get a timeline in that article of when, he was asking to do reshoots or what the scope of the reshoots are. Is it adding Superman and Batman back into it, or is it getting rid of Amber Heard's character? You know what I mean? Because that was still even what? Discovery bought DC in like October, right? So I'm assuming those conversations were, a couple of months ago, still kind of in the fallout of the trial with, Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. So I'm wondering if that's it. And like, because sure, you've spent $200 million on
$1.148 billion worldwide.
So I get that. I get that they're spending $200 million is a lot of money.
Which was more than any of the films in the Dark Knight trilogy.
$200 million?
$1
billion.
1.148.
Well, it made a lot of money. So why? It's kind of weird to me that they're like, $200 million is still a lot of money on a budget. But still, like, if he's almost done, this movie made $1.5 billion almost. Like, it's underwater. Like you're gonna be spending a lot of money on visual effects.
Well, you got to wrap it up too, because other than Flashpoint, this is the only DC slated movie left.
Shazam 2, right?
Shazam 2. Okay, so other than those three, so you got 3 movies left at all anyway. So you got to do something,
right? Well, right, and like. That's what I'm saying is if the reshoots, like if it was just adding Superman and Batman, whatever, like that would be one thing. But I really think part of me is just telling me that the reshoots that he's asking to do were to reshoot Amber Heard scenes because like, there's been rumors even that there was some weird relationship with James Wan and Amber Heard already. You know what I mean? And like a rumor I think I heard was that she's blackmailing him basically to keep her in Aquaman 2, which whatever, who knows if that's true, but I don't think they got bad beef there. You know what I mean? There's bad blood, I think, between them, and it would not surprise me if, those were the reshoots he was trying to do, and then they were like, nah, you don't get to do it. You're just going to have to. But that's so weird. Why would you do that to a movie that's probably going to make another $1 billion for you? Right. It's weird. I don't know. I hope it is. I hope it is that they're adding Superman and Batman. I don't care. I also think this will blow over too. I bet we'll get it still next Christmas. But it's kind of worrisome at least to say
for sure.
least that they were talking about it. Yeah.
But guys, you guys are hearing this information about the reshoots for Aquaman 2. What are you guys' thoughts? Do you think that Warner should just shell out the money and just get this over with so they can finish it up and get it out? Or do you think they should stand their ground and say, no, we're not doing this. Work with what you got. Definitely let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. All right, with that down, we're going to move on to our 5th and final main topic today. The Patman is coming to the DCEU? What? Probably not. when I came on here this morning, I found this article from Screen Rant referencing this article from Variety about this kind of secret meeting going on between James Gunn and Peter Safran about and with Matt Reeves about bringing in Robert Pattinson's Batman to the DCEU to make him the new DCU Batman. And that's this article I have pulled up. As you can see, Robert Pattinson's Batman may be canon in James Gunn's new DCU. And I'll read a little bit of this. Robert Pattinson's version of Batman is reportedly being considered to join the larger DC universe under James Gunn and Peter Safran's leadership. The DC brand is going in a new direction as Gunn and Safran were hired as the new leaders for DC Studios, which is replacing the former DC Films division. According to Variety, quote, a well-placed source states that DC studio heads Gunn and Safran are exploring the potential of incorporating Pattinson's iteration of Batman from Matt Reeves' new franchise into the larger DCU. Warner Bros. Discovery and DC Studios have not commented yet on the story, but you know who has? James Gunn himself. James Gunn himself has come out and he's commented on this whole thing, and it was probably about an hour after I had spent all this time making this wonderful thumbnail for this to be the main topic today. And I just want to read, I can't bring it up on screen here, but I do just want to read what James Gunn said. So, he retweeted the tweet from Variety that said, again, a well-placed source tells Variety that James Gunn and Peter Safran are exploring the possibility of incorporating Matt Reeves and Robert Pattinson's Batman into their wider DC universe, which James Gunn retweets 3 hours later and says, there are few reporters I love more than Adam Very, which is the guy who made the report. Truly a good guy. But in this case, he needs to get a new source, as this is entirely untrue. This is great. I love James Gunn. He's not gonna put up with the shit. And he's gonna call shit bullshit when it's bullshit. And it looks like this is bullshit. So much for this being our main topic today. It looks like the Robert Pattinson's Batman, as we all probably want, will remain in its own amazing universe that is better than anything the DCU would probably be able to come up with anyway. So this is good news, actually. I'm glad to report on it and then end the speculation immediately. Will Robert Pattinson's Batman be in the new wider DCU? No, says James Gunn. No. So this is good to hear for me. I was a huge fan. I still think The Batman is honestly probably one of the best films I've seen this year. It's great. It's such a good movie. If you guys haven't seen it, definitely go check it out. You know what? It feels like a Christmas movie. I might have to check that out here soon. It feels cold and Christmassy and Batman to me. I don't know why, but it just feels like that. But this is interesting, like I said, to say the least, to have a guy like Gunn who's going to be there. He's like now the Elon Musk of this situation. He's just going to go on Twitter and just be like, whatever. So, Lucas, you're hearing this information. What are your thoughts, A, on this article from Variety with their well-placed source, and B, your thoughts on Gunn's response, and then C, who, judge and jury, who do you believe?
I'm going to start with C for you, because I have a tweet from Matt Reeves, actually, who responded to James Gunn that says, the source I'm really liking on this is Mr. James Gunn.
Right.
Me too. Yeah, coming straight from the camel's mouth, right? What was the second question? I don't know.
It was. First of all, what do you think about the well-placed source? And then what do you think about James Gunn coming out and checking this whole thing? I mean, Variety. Dude, we use Variety's a big outlet.
Yeah,
He's
right?
just right.
Well, I wonder who their well-placed source is probably fired now.
He's not well placed anymore. That's for
right.
sure.
He's misplaced. Yeah. I think. I don't know. I trust James Gunn on it. You know, I think like it would be confusing. I think I'm glad that I love that Batman, man. I love that Batman world.
Yeah.
Like, and I also love the Batman and the Superman and the larger world already that we get with that. Like, I love that DC is doing that. You know, allows us to have a Joker and a Batman and Pattinson. Keep it. Like if you do a Crisis on Infinite Earth or whatever, and you want to have a Batman Pattinson cameo,
cool.
I'm jumping out of my seat over that.
Or a Flashpoint movie.
That's what I'm saying. Right.
Here's
exactly.
your chance. You know, throw him in there
Exactly.
in a little.
Well, it
role.
kind of right. It all ties in with yeah. So inevitably when DC does their multiverse event, whatever that Marvel's doing now, I would love to see Robert Pattinson's Batman with like every other Batman other than rest in peace Adam West. You know, that would be great. Awesome.
That's Mayor West.
I know.
Mayor to you.
Mayor to you. But I think that it just doesn't mesh, right? Like the tone is. I mean, the tone in the DC...
It's real. It's so real.
Right,
you can't
man.
make that into the D...
And
you
not
can't
only
have
that-
aliens flying around in Pattinson's Batman world. It
Right,
would
but
feel
Ben
silly.
Affleck's you can.
Yes,
Yeah, right.
and I like that.
Right, and I do too.
Me too. But in Pattinson's, leave me alone. If the only thing that could possibly potentially cross and make at least... Which I don't want to, but would at least make sense in a way, in some ways, is that thing right behind you.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
Somewhat the Joker would
But not
somewhat.
at the same time.
Still
because
still
that's
would be
set
forced.
That's in the 70s,
Yes, so you're
right?
still
And this is
forcing
modern
it.
day.
Yes, you'd still be forcing it, but it would make more sense
Right.
that kind of Joker at least would be the Joker that Robert Pattinson's
Yes.
Batman would fight over any of the other Joker iterations we've ever had.
Can you
None of
imagine
them.
him, Jared Leto, with him?
Or
He would
even
just walk away.
or
He's like,
even
"Fuck."
what's his name that did Burton's?
Oh yeah, Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, imagine Nicholson's or
That's a little. I mean, still,
even
it's
Heath
out
Ledger's wouldn't really. None of them would really fit. But Joaquin Phoenix's that type of Joker, that's because again,
it's
it's
just
real.
it's grounded in a
yes,
real world.
it's a real
Right.
place that we actually believe and a real man that we believe could exist, and that's what Robert Pattinson's Batman is. You can't add Green Lanterns to that, man. I'm sorry.
No, I
you
agree.
just can't.
And like, you know, they've Matt Reeves is currently working on his own little universe of it with the, you know, Penguin spinoffs and like Clayface and all of the, you know, catalog of Batman characters that he's going to do. I'm all here for that. I love that. But also, you're telling me at the same time I can have, you know, the wider DC universe where I get my Batman and my Superman together.
Right,
But if I want to just
that's
go
what I'm
watch a
saying.
Batman
this
movie.
is definitely a case where we can have our cake and eat it too.
Right,
so.
and there's no reason why you should try and, you know, mash
No way.
vanilla cake and chocolate cake
no
together
way.
or whatever.
We could just
They can be great.
We
and
don't need
are
an ice
great
cream cake.
Right, exactly.
We want our ice cream and our cake on the same plane.
I might put my ice cream on it. Right. But no, I think it's great. They should keep it in its own thing.
For sure.
You know, multiversal crossover is inevitable, I think, but I think
especially for Matt Reeves' sake, right? Because he kind of went into this knowing that, like, hey, man, I don't got to worry about none of that shit, right? And they were like, yeah, bro, you don't got to worry about none of that shit.
Well, that
And
was the whole reason he did it.
And then now he has literally let's be real, it's probably the best DC movie ever made. He has the best DC movie ever made, and then you're going to be like, hey, we want you to get into that shit now that we told you weren't going to have to get
Good luck.
into. Yeah,
Peace
right.
out. Yeah.
You're not going to do
and
that
Robert
to this guy.
Pattinson, too, is not going to want to do that either.
No.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it was a gamble for him, I think, even to... Well, he loves Batman, which is why he did it.
Sure.
But he doesn't want to be the DCU's Batman. He
No.
wants to be Batman in his own little universe.
Yeah, he
He'll
wants to
pop
be
up
Matt
and play
Reeves'
food.
Batman.
Right, exactly.
That's what he wants to be. And that's what we want. We don't, like I said,
Right.
yeah, we just don't.
It just
I don't want to see
doesn't
dark
make
side in
sense.
this.
Right.
Even the Batman villains that that we get, I expect to be real grounded villains. I don't expect
like the Joker we've already seen.
I don't expect to get Darkseid or
even if you get a Clayface, like a bit more supernatural, like he's gonna make you believe it. You know what I mean? He's gonna make you believe
I don't see him doing something like that.
Well, they were talking about doing an HBO series with Clayface.
That's in the Pattinson universe?
Yeah, right? He was talking about doing it with it talks.
Yeah,
right,
sure.
Talks. But, you know, a Mr. Freeze, honestly, I think that's who they should do for Batman.
Yeah, you can't do
Mr.
that.
Freeze.
I don't think
you can.
Do that. I don't
no,
think
absolutely, I think you can. Because, like, look, if Bruce Wayne can create his, like, bat suit and everything, he does it in this real world.
Yeah, but that's
why can't somebody
Mr. Freeze's story, though.
No, I know, but Mr. Freeze made his own suit to protect himself.
But because of who he was and what happened to him.
Sure, right, but
which
that's
is so ungrounded that in itself. This again.
Not in a modern world, I would say, as much, because he's trying to cure his wife of cancer, right? So automatically, you can already relate to that. We can all relate to his strive for goodness.
But now I could say that about Hulk. I mean, he was a scientist trying to create a gamma power.
Right.
We can relate to that. We can all relate to that. Right. But it's so unrealistic, though.
Well, yeah, but Mr.
So
Freeze
a dude trying to
isn't.
save his wife from cancer in our reality, Lucas, has, just so you know, in the history of our world, has never once equated to a man who has ice skin.
No, he doesn't have ice skin.
My bad. Right. You know what I mean, though.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's fully possible that, you know, that there's a scientist trying to work and he falls into something that
I'm not
damages
disagreeing
his
that it's
skin,
possible,
right.
but it's just as possible as Bruce Banner, but it's still not grounded in real. It's first of all, it's cliche as shit. It's your average old got bit by a radioactive spider situation.
Well, we'll see. I mean, like it. Because I bet we'll end up getting a freeze. But we'll see.
Not in Pattinsons.
Right. Well, just in general. But I think, I think it could be.
I'm going to tell you right now, after the last freeze that we got, we probably won't see freeze again on the big screen for another like 10 years. I guarantee you.
Maybe. Yeah. Right.
But as soon as he gets back, you know what he's going to do. Kick some ice.
Tonight, hell freezes over. No, but anyway.
You know what killed the dinosaurs?
The Ice Age.
The Ice Age. But yeah, guys, have you guys heard this stuff about Robert Pattinson's Batman joining the DCEU? Have you read these reports? Did you see James Gunn's tweet, Matt Reeves' tweets? What are you guys' thoughts? Definitely let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. All right, with that down, that is our final main topic today. We're going to move over to the chat. We didn't have a very active chat. Again, Wednesday is usually our slowest day here at the channel. But Lucas did ask, favorite Batman. Look, man, first of all, favorite Batman is the greatest Batman ever made, hands down. There's no questions. Unequivocally, the 90s animated Batman series Kevin Conroy's Batman from the series. Yeah, rest in peace for sure. Is the superior infinite level Batman, and in this exact order it goes from that to Batman Beyond to, honestly, I would say Robert Pattinson.
I was gonna say what I meant was live action, because that makes it way too there's a lot of good.
Well, like, you just said favorite Batman. If it's not live action, then the best Batman movie ever made is Matt Reeves and Robert Pattinson's Batman movie that came out this year.
I mean, it's again, probably one of the best superhero movies of all time.
It's one of the It's one of the best movies I've seen all year.
For sure, it's definitely
period.
Top 3.
If
probably,
you even take away that it was, call that dude just like Nightman, and it wasn't even made by DC. It was an A24.
Man-Bat,
right?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's what it felt like in a lot of ways.
That's what I'm saying. It felt like a real movie.
Right.
It wasn't no damn Avengers Endgame or Thor Love and Thunder, is a
felt
joke.
Like a real like detective.
This felt like a
true
real
detective almost.
This felt like Seven or some shit. You know, this felt
definitely what's in the box. Yeah.
Right. This felt like some
very
real,
much like Seven.
That's good. A real movie. Yeah. So definitely, I would say, if we're not going animated, I'd go that way. But animated, definitely Kevin Conroy, Batman is the superior Batman. Animated or not, he's the superior Batman. And then, favorite was probably Batman.
Batman Beyond.
Beyond, for sure. I love that thing. But what about you? What's your favorite?
If we're talking animated, I would say probably those two. I mean, you have to, right? Like, you can't say best Batman of all time and not have Kevin Conroy in that sentence.
Yeah. He is like what everyone wants Batman to be. Right. I mean, he's the perfect version of Batman. He's like Superman Batman. He's like such a good guy. He's a hero, a real hero.
But I'm gonna throw in there also, for at least the animated ones. Did you ever play like Batman Arkham Asylum?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I loved those games, especially like Arkham Asylum and Arkham City. I would say are up there.
Kevin Conroy did a lot of those.
I was gonna say, yeah. And Mark Hamill, I'm pretty sure, was also as the Joker in that.
Yep.
Yeah. Favorite, I mean, live action, dude. That I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty hard. Like, it's almost like saying favorite Spider-Man. You know, I think the best one.
That's harder to me.
Pretty clear. Well, yeah, because there's only 3 of them.
Spider-Man?
3 Spider-Man. Yeah.
There's a lot of Spider-Man movies.
No, I'm talking about Spider-Man, like which actor, right?
Yeah, sure.
Portrayal.
Is that what we're talking about?
That's kind of what I was asking.
Favorite actor to play it?
Just favorite portrayal. You know, if you want to keep
portrayal of Batman. Mm-hmm. Oh man, favorite would have to be. Honestly, I thought Clooney was a funny Batman.
I kind of liked it. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but
I think Val Kilmer's my Batman, though.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, at least my Bruce Wayne for sure. Like, if I think of Bruce Wayne, I think of him.
Yeah, me too.
His Batman was good for sure. I do really love Ben Affleck's Batman. It's a lot different. It's way different than any of the other takes that we really get, other than Batman Beyond. And honestly, just because he's older. I could see Ben Affleck's Batman go on to be a Batman Beyond because he's gruff. He's like beat down by the world, especially in Dawn of Justice. Like, you don't get a ton of Bruce Wayne, but he's kind of, when you do, he's brooding like Robert Pattinson. So he really kind of like really makes me think of Batman. Right, like the essential Batman, just like when he's up in the corner when you first see him.
He's also like, I will say this for sure. There's no question about it. Physically, there's nobody that's brought that physicality to the Batman role like Ben Affleck.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, the dude put in serious work.
Dude, he looks just huge. Like the
He's
game.
ripped. He's like 6'4". I mean, he had everything going. And there's probably nobody on the planet that's in Hollywood as big as he is that loves Batman as much as that dude does. Ben Affleck loves Batman.
Right. Well, God, man, that's what's so great about it too. With Robert Pattinson loves Batman. Like, he was like itching, like bugging his agent to do it. I love that. Right. I mean, I would too. Like, if I had an opportunity to play Batman, I'm all over it.
Sure. Right.
I will say, I don't think there's a bad one. I don't think there's a bad Batman, like, live action portrayal.
Yeah.
George Clooney's a little goofy with the nipples and stuff like that. But I do love Michael Keaton's, even Adam
Batman.
West. I love nipple. Growing up, I will say that Batman and Robin was my favorite Batman movie. Like, I would watch that on repeat just because it was so, like...
But I preferred the one with Jim Carrey as Riddler.
Oh, well, it was those two.
Yeah.
Specifically, I'd watch them a lot. Just because there's the first two are so gothy, and I love them now, but as a kid, so colorful, and you get bat nipples and sexy Poison Ivy. You're all over that, yeah.
Kissing with tape on and shit.
God, dude, yeah. That's like burned into my memories. Like, good old Chris O'Donnell. Man.
Right, yeah. The real Nightwing.
Whatever.
But yeah, it looks like that's it. Matt did say Keaton for sure. Yeah, Keaton was a great Batman, that's for sure. And he's also going to be Batman again. That's how good of a Batman he is. So he would be a great Batman to pass on the mantle for Batman Beyond. He would be like a good...
Sure, yeah.
Because he's older now. And I forget Batman Beyond's name.
Terry
McGinnis.
Yes.
Is his name.
That sounds right, yeah.
And he gets handed the mantle down from, Bruce Wayne's the Batman, and it would be kind of cool to see that. See like an older Michael Keaton Batman, with the cane. I don't know if you've ever seen Batman Beyond in a while.
Oh yeah, I've seen it.
But
all
like,
the way,
there's that first episode where they're chasing Terry McGinnis, right?
Yeah.
The Joker gang and all that, and he gets onto the property, and Bruce comes out, and Bruce is this huge old man with gray hair on a cane, and he limps out, and he's like, "You guys need to get off my property." And they're all like, "What are you gonna do, old man?" and stuff. And then, well, they don't even know who he is because he's been retired so long,
kind of,
right? And then he's like, and like one of them like hits him or something, and you could tell he looks all frail and weak or something, and he's just like whoops like all their asses, and that's what so it would be cool to see that kind of thing. I mean, we need a Batman Beyond live action movie, man.
Beyond movie.
We really do. I can't believe it hasn't happened in this world that we live in, where people like me now have money. People my age and our age group, millennials, have money to go out and spend in the movie theaters or on T-shirts.
Well, it's like
and all
making
that.
a good
Give me
Pokemon
fucking
movie,
Batman. Right.
Yeah. I mean,
Batman Beyond was huge when I was a kid. Like, it was the big thing. Or like seeing this trailer for Across the Spider-Verse. Have you had the chance to see that? If you see, there's this one shot, if you pause it, there's like 30 different Spider-Man attacking Miles Morales. And one of them's the Spider-Man from PS1.
Yes.
Like, that's awesome. I love that game. Right. And then they're supposed to put in the one from the PS4 games.
I saw that in the trailer.
And then the one from the 90s animated series. Yeah, like, again, like, that's really cool. I love to see that. I hope they do something like that with Batman sometime. And this Flashpoint would be really cool. I've heard rumors that like Kevin Conroy even appears as like Bruce Wayne in one of the scenes during Flashpoint.
Well, because when they did the Flashpoint, like with the Arrowverse and stuff, he was in an episode or two.
Sure.
So like that would, I mean, it would make sense, right? Like Grant Gustin's definitely going to make an appearance.
What would be cooler is, and I heard this rumor a long time ago, and it'd be way cooler is if at some point, when, you know, Flash is skipping universes, one of the universe he skips to is the animated Batman universe where Kevin Conroy's Batman is.
Right, that so like almost like a reverse of what we'll probably see in Across the Spider-Verse, where he'll come into like a Tobey Maguire's live action one. Yeah. Right. Or like in Doctor Strange when they're going through and it gets animated all of a sudden.
Right. Right.
Well, you know, that's the beauty of the time we live in, right? We get to see those visuals because we live in such like a technical.
Right. Yeah. Right. It's so good that right at the end now you could have like a portal open and then boof, Jimmy Neutron. Jimmy Neutron got a blast, and he just starts kicking ass. Just and come on, man, Jimmy Neutron's
he goes hard.
He's a hero, bro. He's a boy genius. He's Spider-Man before he got bit by a spider. He's Peter Parker before he got bit by a spider. He really is.
He really is.
He really is. Or he's baby Tony Stark.
Yeah, right. He's like third grade Tony Stark. Yeah.
Right. By the time he's a senior in high school, he's going to have a full-blown Iron Man suit that he's built himself.
With some of the stuff that Jimmy Neutron invents, though.
That's what I'm saying. He doesn't need powers. That's right. That's what I'm saying.
Got a blast.
He's right. Come on. He's Jimmy freaking Neutron, man.
Dude, we should get a live action movie of that.
Yeah, right. That'd be awesome. Jimmy Neutron's awesome, man. I love Jimmy Neutron. But yeah, it'd be cool to see all that nostalgic stuff. I love seeing stuff like that. I was, like I said, I was huge on that 90s Spider-Man animated series as well. I watched that damn near every Saturday morning, just like every other kid gathered around their tube TV. But yeah. Guys, that looks like that's it for today. All the questions in the chat. It's been a fun day. I see that there's 5 of you guys in here now. Hit that thumbs up button for me, guys. I really appreciate it. We really appreciate all the support on the channel and all the questions and comments that you guys have when you do have them. As always, interacting with you guys, the audience, and the film fan community is the best part of doing this show. So we appreciate you guys being here, and it's been a lot of fun. I have been joined today by my friend and co-host Lucas Farney. Lucas, where can people find you at, buddy?
It's Instagram, Twitter, at Lucas_Farney. Probably on the corner of Broadway.
Hey, guys, you know where to find me. My Twitter handle is right there, at Keaton Toothman. Go follow me over on Twitter, where I've lost the majority of my followers because Elon Musk. Thank you, Elon Musk. Thank you so much. But yeah, other than that, guys, don't forget about the Xbox Series S we're giving away. Go share the love on that video. We also have a new video up for the Forest Hills premiere date. Go check that video out. It seems to be doing well, and people want to know more about the Forest Hills premiere. As I know I do. I can't wait. Too, yeah. I can't wait to hear more about it. So definitely go check that out too, and come back, join us here. Lucas, will you be here tomorrow?
What's tomorrow?
Tomorrow, Thursday. No, okay.
No, Friday.
Well, I will be, so Lucas will be back Friday. I think I will be here solo tomorrow. So join me back here. Same bat time, same bat place. It'll be 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, and I will see you guys then.